Life ain't all easy. And some women say, oh, well, why would you even risk it? You risk it because you do calculated risk as a human being. That's what we do. And I've seen brothers who want to be more and take care of more, and it stretches them. And I encourage men to be qualified to practice polygyny. That doesn't mean you have to or will even do it. But if you strive to be a person that qualifies for it, because now you can take care of multiple families, you can be there, you've increased your emotional intelligence, your leadership skills, then yeah, you should. But even if you choose not to, you should strive for it for what it will make of you as a man. That will make you that much better in the only marriage that you're in if you choose to only practice monogamy. Assalamu alaikum, peace. I'm Coach Nazir. I'm one of the founders of Outstanding Personal Relationships, as well as one of the authors of Let's Talk Polygyny Uncensored. Now, we've been talking and discussing a lot in our private community about this, and this topic is very important because I've gotten it from a lot of different men. The question is, should I pursue polygyny when I know my wife has an issue or a challenge with it? Either she sometimes is threatening to just leave, take the kids, or cause all kind of havoc, whatever it may be. All right, or just disagrees with it, period. I don't know. But I get this question quite a bit. So I want to let you know what I tell them. It's all about calculated risks. As a husband, we take calculated risks on how we earn our income, how we get the bag, how we have money coming in, right? So whether or not you choose to work a job and what type of job, whether or not you choose to be an entrepreneur, how long you're going to give that to really go ahead and make it happen, whether or not you choose to pursue higher levels of schooling or personal education and growth. All of these things are calculated risks. And we take risks all the time anyway, whether that's riding or driving in cars, which is much more dangerous and life-threatening than flying in planes. Our fears don't have to be justified and making much sense rationally or otherwise. But one of the things I let brothers know is, listen, man, you got to weigh your situation. All right. So your desire for polygyny, for whatever reasons, all right, for building a family or whatever, or you staying in a relationship, not being able to do that because someone else made the decision for you, or maybe you felt that you were emotionally manipulated into making a decision or stopping a decision. So what tends to usually happen, what I find is that men who want to practice polygyny, all right, they want to do it for whatever reasons, they tend to either A, choose not to do it because of other pressure, usually from a wife or society or whatever, culture, what have you, or they end up doing the stuff secretly, all right, or privately, and then they don't let anybody know, and then they're going on and building families and that type of stuff. And I dealt with another video on that, and brothers need to be upfront to demonstrate your courage and make sure you are making everything aware and open. So this is what you must weigh. Whether or not it's important enough to you to go ahead and pursue it and make the calculated risk that your wife may make true on that promise or that threat to leave or to try to take the kids and so on and so forth. Or if you're going to stay in the marriage and grow resentment because you weren't able to practice polygyny and do something that someone else was against. Because that's usually the two choices that you have. All right, so sisters, just to be aware, have a conversation, have a mature conversation. Don't blow up, be approachable, talk about it from your end, what your fears are, concerns are, everything else, bruh, bring it to her. And whether or not you intend to even practice it. If you're watching this video and you're single, or if you're watching it and you are involved in monogamy, or if you're involved in polygyny already, have the conversation, revisit the conversation, even if it's never your intention to do it, because it helps develop an understanding of each other and helps grow your connection, which of course we're about when we talk about GLC all the time. That's making it real. Now here's the challenge though. If you're growing that resentment because somebody else made a decision for you, or you feel emotionally manipulated, that resentment is likely going to deteriorate the quality of this marriage over here, because in the back of your mind and your feelings, you're going to feel a certain type of way about somebody else who made a decision for you, or kind of put you in the corner to either make the decision or else, whether it's an ultimatum or they're just making these threats. I don't have to do this or don't have to do that. I can just blah, 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 and up and leave, whatever it may be. So you have to weigh as a man and make the calculated risk on whether or not it's worth it. Now, here's the other part. If you've been married happily for 5 years, 10 years, 15, 20 years even, all right, you happily married, you have a great marriage, it's absolutely okay to not choose polygyny. Here's the other part. It's absolutely okay to choose polygyny. Even if this doesn't work out, even if your 5, 10, 15, 20 years does not work out, you made a calculated risk and decision. If you're a good guy, if you're a good dude, and you're providing, you're doing what you're supposed to do, and you make the calculated risk to go ahead and pursue it, but the woman decides, hey, you know what, we're gonna end this, it's not gonna work, it's all kinds of stuff, I'm not willing to work at it, to be patient with you or anything like that, then cherish those 5, 10, 15, 20 years. It's highly likely that you're both still going to be okay. And if there are children involved, you can still co-parent lovingly and nurture and everything else. Now, do I think that's the best route to go? It depends on the circumstances and situation. But should you decide to be patient and learn and practice polygyny, and you are a good guy, you're protecting, providing that security and everything else, you have your financial acumen where it needs to be, you're working on your leadership skills, your emotional intelligence, and then you decide to practice it, it can be that much more worth it. But you have to make that calculated risk and decision whether or not you choose to or whether you choose not to. I am Coach Nazir.
And I'm Coach Fatimah, his wife.
And I am Coach Nyla. I am also his wife.
We are the founders of Outstanding Personal Relationships, as well as the authors of the book,
Let's Talk Polygamy Uncensored.
And I'm sure you're asking yourself, how can you get your hands on a copy of it right now? The great part is, we're about to share that with you, but first, let me tell you about why you need to at least get your hands on one or maybe more copies, depending on where you are in your polygynous journey.
Some of the things that we discuss in our book are issues about trust, insecurities, jealousy among wives, and maybe even, possibly even, creating lasting friendships.
Especially friendships amongst co-wives. And we share in this book how you can understand that it takes a village, that polygyny is not some taboo topic or something that's going to leave women stranded alone and kids not loving each other or feel like they're left alone by their fathers or from their fathers or whatever the case may be. You will learn so much in this book. Let's Talk Polygamy Uncensored.
Indeed, we lay down the practical steps that we wish we would have had when we started our polygamy journey over 13 years ago. Well, the time is here, and all you have to do, go to letstalkpolygamy.com. Order a copy, order the bundle, do whatever it is you need to do so there's no more excuses, and we making marriage great again by reminding people of polygamy, which is an ancient solution to a modern day problem. Letstalkpolygamy.com. Get your pre-sale order on. With that being said,
make sure you are growing intentionally,
loving fearlessly,
and connecting on a higher level
every single day.
Visit the link. Assalamu alaikum. Peace.
Peace.
And for ladies, you have to understand, and I did a video about it, it's called sex or whatever it's called, but I'm dealing with, you know what? You are not his everything. He is not your everything. We're humans. We're all fallible. But if he's a good guy, please tell me as a man who has daughters who I'm trying to find husbands for, where the good ones are. Where they at that ain't beating on women, have these different addictions, alcoholism, all kind of other sicknesses going on that are attractive, that are bringing in and smart with their finances and everything else. Where they at so I can go ahead and help find a few of them for my daughters. Because if you have a good one and you're willing to risk that because he decides to be a bigger man and take on more responsibility and accountability as a man, which is already attracted to multiple women, yes, because it's attractive when men are able to take care of and provide security for multiple women. If you're willing to risk it, that's your choice. But similarly, you got to weigh it. You want to jump into single motherhood, divorce, and all that kind of stuff, but you had a good man who want to practice polygyny and came to you openly about it, it's your choice. You want to threaten him? Because see, once you put this threat out that you, the person he's loved, the person that he's built a family with, has children with, and you threaten him with, I'm taking the kid. We know how to deal with the drama of an enemy from the outside of a family and how to protect the family. But many men don't know how to deal when that threat is coming from the inside, whether it's real or imagined. But that will absolutely impact the quality of your marriage when you threaten somebody. That's evil. At least in my opinion, very evil. So, calculated risks. That's the name of the game. We're adults. Life ain't all easy. And some women say, oh, well, why would you even risk it? You risk it because you do calculated risk as a human being. That's what we do. And I've seen brothers who want to be more and take care of more, and it stretches them. And I encourage men to be qualified to practice polygyny. That doesn't mean you have to or will even do it. But if you strive to be a person that qualifies for it, because now you can take care of multiple families, you can be there, you've increased your emotional intelligence, your leadership skills, then yeah, you should. But even if you choose not to, you should strive for it, for what it will make of you as a man. That will make you that much better in the only marriage that you're in if you choose to only practice monogamy. That's why you should strive to be. Now, if you feel that somebody else is going to restrict that and strive you or restrict you and all that from being greater than you can be, from being bigger and better and more than you can be, that's a decision that you're going to, again, have to weigh and take that calculated risk. So prayerfully, you understand what I'm saying. And understand it's our responsibility. We're responsible for the choices that we make, the rewards that come with it. And for my family, for example, I had to make that calculated risk. I had to evaluate myself straight up and down and say, you know, I got to give myself a report card. How am I doing emotionally with my wife? How am I doing financially? What's going on with my leadership skills? How am I as a father? How do I measure up? And one of the questions I like to ask people is that, what are the last 5 books you read? Not some novels, not some romance stuff, not some street stuff. What are the last 5 books that you've read? Or you could even include listen to. With Audible and all these different sources of audio books, what are the 5 books? Was it 1 a month for the last 5 months? Or was it 1 a week for the last 5 weeks? Because either you are investing in your personal growth, you are investing in expanding yourself and your skills, or you're choosing not to. Either way, it's a choice. And there are risks and rewards to both of them. So if you can't name the last 5 books and lessons from each book and tell me the next 5 books that you have on your agenda for the next 5 weeks or 5 months, please don't let it be next 5 years. Because that's where the masses live. And the masses live quiet lives of desperation. They live in silent mediocrity. They wish and they want all day, but not willing to take no actions. See, most people live lives of quiet desperation. They're absolutely okay with waddling in mediocrity. Polygyny is not for them. When we talk about you need to be more than average, you absolutely need to be. Average is nothing but the bottom of the top or the top of the bottom. Who strives to be average? Nobody. That's why we want to have outstanding personal relationships. Polygyny ain't for the faint of heart. It's not for the person who can't make a decision. It's not for the person that doesn't have courage and can't demonstrate his leadership. So if you don't know those past 5 books, your next 5 books, then maybe you need to revisit that first before you visit polygyny again. Prayerfully, you get what I'm saying? You can make intelligent, calculated risks because the rewards are massive. But if you're not prepared for it, then the consequences can be equally massive in the wrong direction. So with that being said, I'm Coach Nazir. Coach help people get their shift together. What I want you to do is put in the comments. Let me know that you saw the entire video. Let me know that you're supporting it by watching the whole video and what we're doing and stuff like that. Either join our community. Of course, the link is in the description. Our private community where we go hard. We discuss stuff that we don't discuss on social media because these are people that are serious, not just curious. Our private community is anti-troll, so you ain't gonna find trolls there like we find all the time in our comments. Nevertheless, what I want you to put below is, I am not striving for average. I am not striving for average. Let me know you checked it out. Let me know your thoughts. You got some questions, comments, concerns, blowback, feedback, whatever it may be. Let me know. I appreciate you sticking in here. With that being said, Assalamu alaikum. Peace.